Alright, guys. It is finally time to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie. We're gonna go over everything. What I liked, what I didn't like, my overall thoughts, my experience in the theater, because I got a lot to say. Alright, I do got a lot to say. This is gonna be no holds barred, unscripted. I'm just gonna go, as I go along. And I'm also sick for like the 14,000th time this year, so that's just great. So let's start with the big question. Did I like the movie? Was 8 years of hype, did that live up? Right? Did the hype live up? And the answer is yes. I did like the movie. I did really like the movie. Now, was it absolutely perfect? No. Did I have a great time in the theater? Yes. Okay, I had a blast in the theater. I was laughing. I would lie. I'd be lying if I told you that a few moments did not make me jump. So that was awesome. And yeah, I had a great time because I was watching something that I had grew up with, had been waiting for again since 2015. And I was watching a franchise and characters that I care about a lot, that are very important to me, being realized on the big screen. An incredible step in the journey that franchise has taken. And it cannot be underestimated how just immense this movie meant to everybody, like Scott Cawthon, his family, the fans who had been waiting for so long. It was extremely important to all of that. Now, what did I like about the movie? Well, for one thing, the animatronics were absolutely brilliant, okay? It could not have been done better. The animatronics looked just fantastic. One of my big worries about the game was that the animatronics wouldn't actually look that good. That was my big worry before all the trailers and all that. But when I saw the trailers, I was like, okay, they got it down. They have it down. Because these things look unreal. And that's exactly what it was, because just seeing them on screen, it was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just, I couldn't help but smile. I was supposed to be scared, but like, I couldn't help but smile because this is what it should have been. All right, this is what it should have been. These unbelievable professional animatronics is what this deserved. Not, those crappy. They're still charming, but those not very good looking animatronics from like those FNAF in real life videos from a couple years back. No, this is what it needed to be. And I was just so pleased. Now, when it came to the plot of the movie, I knew that this was going to be controversial because they did change a lot of things. They changed the way, Mike is. He has a sister. He has. By the way, I should have mentioned this earlier, but there will be spoilers. Okay, there will be spoilers. So if you do not want to hear that, get off this video right now. Okay, just go and come back to it later if you want. But yeah, Mike has a sister. He has a brother who's been taken away by Afton many years ago, and that was a little bit weird. I didn't really expect that, but what was really going to be controversial, I think, was the fact that it heavily focused on dreams. So Mike was able to communicate somehow with the ghost kids via a dream. And he was able to, and he was basically trying to figure out who took his brother. That was his whole goal. And I feel like that was, that was good. That was a good goal because, it linked they wanted I feel like they didn't want to have, Mike be Afton's son like it is in the games. So they wanted to find a different link to Afton and having him be, the brother of a kid who was kidnapped. That is a way to do it. And the kids wanted his sister. They wanted his sister, and yeah, it was interesting. The dream sequences, they were interesting. They progressively got, you progressively got answers, which is what I liked. Um the only thing, yeah, it was just a little bit weird because it was just so different from what we've seen before. So yeah, I mean, I appreciated it. I didn't really have a big problem with that. I know probably a lot of other people were going to have a problem with that because it was just so it's just kind of weird. But I think it was fine. The kids didn't really speak except for Golden Freddy, the kid who's possessing Golden Freddy, which I actually did really like that because Golden Freddy is obviously supposed to be the biggest threat, the one who is obsessed. So by making him the only one who talked, you did reinforce that. So I did like that a lot. Um and the other thing that I really liked, I actually really liked the actors. I did. I think Josh did a very good job actually. But let me tell you, the scene that really got me thinking, like, hey, these guys are good. It was the scene after Mike had been attacked and he was in the police compost. Now, this is where the movie really started to pick up for me in terms of intensity and in terms of hype level because that was right after Golden Freddy had taken Cassie, excuse me, had taken Abby away to the restaurant. So that was after she was taken and her aunt got murdered. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, this is where the movie started to pick up for me in terms of intensity because everything was being revealed. We finally got an answer as to who Vanessa is, who the policewoman is, which was Afton's daughter. And through the moment she was introduced into the story, you knew something was up because she knew everything about the restaurant. She knew everything about, like, she seemed very attached to the animatronics. She was making weird faces and all that. And I immediately knew something was up with her. I didn't expect her to be Afton's daughter. I thought that maybe like her brother was Golden Freddy or something like that because they both had blonde hair. I want to say that that was on purpose to make you think that, but maybe I'm just reading into much to that. But yeah, that's where the movie started to pick up for intensity because she was like, all right, the killer is my dad. The killer who killed kids that are inside these animatronics is my dad. And he knows you're trying to find him. And he is coming. Like, he is on his way. That was awesome. Okay, that was awesome. Like, this the threat of Afton was like nearly approaching, like he was coming, and they saved him. They saved Spring Bonnie for the end, and I'm really glad that they did that. Um, I'm really glad that they did that because when he came, it was so damn cool, so damn cool. I had a criticism of the suit when I first saw it in the trailer. But nah, I take that back completely because it's not Springtrap. It's not what I thought it was going to be originally because it did have weathering and I thought that that was Springtrap. But no, it's not actually Springtrap. It is Spring Bonnie. And man, they did a phenomenal job on the suit. I thought the suit was absolutely perfect. I love it. There's not, I don't have any complaints about the suit because nah, that's couldn't have been done better in my opinion. The suit because it looked frightening, it looked intense, and yeah. And then when Spring Bonnie started talking, man, I got goosebumps because like this guy is a bad man. That's exactly what I thought. This guy is a crazy evil bastard. Like we haven't really seen in the game Spring Bonnie like talking, you know? Like he hasn't really talked in the suit like all menacingly. I guess Scrap Trap kind of, but nothing like this. And I was really excited because it was really badass. It was just so badass and it was so well done because um he obviously knew who Mike was. He was having a battle with Mike. Like he pushed him, he punt kicked him, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill you. I killed your brother. Now I'm gonna kill you." So it was even more like these two have a connection. Now they didn't like fight full on because Spring Bonnie was way too powerful, but yeah, that was amazing. I really liked the performance by Matthew. I think that Matthew did a great job. And I'm excited to see him in a sequel if they decide to do Springtrap. Um, they probably will, 100% they will, because at the end of the movie he is left to rot in the kitchen. Which is, I was thinking, is that why we never see the kitchen in FNAF 1? Is because Springtrap is right there? Something to think about. That is definitely something to think about. But yeah, he's left to rot in the kitchen. And that was a very cool scene, by the way. Um, Now the other thing that I know a lot of people are going to criticize because I've actually seen some of the complaints is there is a side plot about Mike and losing custody uh, of his sister to his aunt, and the aunt is like a really she's really awful. She like plots against Mike to ruin him, and yeah, it's really yeah. I mean, I don't see why that was really bad. Like, I think you need something like that. You do need There's nothing wrong with having an element of the story that it's the whole point of that was to create a divide between Mike and Abby temporarily, and ultimately they come together. You know, that's what the whole thing was. All in all, it just adds more heart to the story. Abby and Mike, their relationship was really sweet. It was charming. I liked it a lot, and I think the story benefited from the inclusion of that because it shouldn't have been nonstop horror, nonstop bloodshed. The inclusion of the heartwarming aspect, the charming story, it made the characters feel more human, and it made the story offer more, and it was just better in my opinion. It made the whole movie better. I've actually heard criticism that there was too much plot, it should have been just like a horror survival. And yeah, I don't no, I don't get that. Something else that caused a lot of discourse was the fort building scene. The very controversial at this point fort building scene, because I've seen a lot of debates and discourse about whether or not that scene was cringe, it was bad, it was just not good. Some people really, really hated that scene. But others seem to be, really fine with it. And me personally, I saw nothing wrong with it. Okay, I got a laugh out of it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a nice change of pace, and I don't think that it at all is in any way an insult or, degrading to the characters or anything like that. I think it's quite the opposite because if you look at that scene in hindsight, it's actually kind of creepy because the whole time the animatronics are trying to gain the trust of Abby, right? Chica tries to put her in a spring lock suit. They want to get her. So that was part of it. Building the fort was part of that process. So that's why it's actually creepy in hindsight. But I mean, we can just pretend that there was no hindsight, pretend that there was no nothing. I think it's still fine because to me it was funny. Bonnie falling down was pretty hilarious actually. Um I did not expect that to happen, but you got to remember that the spirits possessing the animatronics are kids. So is it really unreasonable to say that the kids are playful with other kids? Not really. Not really at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yeah, I've just seen a lot of talk about that nowadays. On Reddit and Twitter especially. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys my stance on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I thought it was a good scene. I thought it was a nice break from all of the horrible stuff that was going on. Because if you really look at it, Mike's situation is just depressing. Okay, his mom is dead. His dad ran away. His brother is dead. He's got, these dead end jobs, hard to get money. He's dealing with this custody battle. Like, his life is complete garbage right now. Everything is going wrong. He's got almost nobody. And the person he has is at risk of going away in more ways than one. So the fort building scene really was, you could say it was relief. And yeah, I don't think that it was in any way, I don't think it was cringe. I don't think it was stupid. I think it was fine. And I think actually I like it again, just gave more heart to the story, like I said earlier, with the relationship between Mike and Abby, the plot there. Yeah, let's see. What else did I well, another positive was just the overall look of the movie. Like, they just did a very good job. Everything looked so well done. Everything looked so professional. Everything looked amazing. So that was that. As far as like the theater experience, my theater is not big. Like, it's not massive, so it was not filled, unfortunately. I wish it was filled because I wanted to see everybody react to stuff, but it was not full. It was not like max capacity. It had a decent amount of people, and there were people there who got references, who did have fun, so that was awesome. Um, it was the first time I got concessions in a movie because they were actually having these pizza things, and they had Freddy Fazbear's Pizza as the on the box. So I thought that that was awesome. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that there's ever been like an actual pizza with the Freddy Fazbear's name on it. I know there was a deal where you could get like a large drink and that you get like an actual pizza for like $5. My theater did not do that. Um, as you can see by the length of the box, they were just doing um flatbread, a flatbread. It was all right, and the flatbread was okay. It's movie theater food, so you can't expect like Michelin star chef cuisine. But yeah, I mean that was fine. That was really really cool. Um, they also had like a crappy They also had like a crappy Freddy statue out front, so that was I mean, that was just weird to see. Like, I never thought I would see that in the movie theater, but I mean, hey, anything can happen now. Um, so yeah, that was, and also I want to talk about I guess we can talk about the references because I did like them. Um, So the first reference that I immediately caught was the book Mike was reading. It was called Dream Theory. And obviously, that is a tie in to the famous dream theory of FNAF that everything is a dream. It's all a dream. Everything's not real. That was obviously Matt Pat. That was his very controversial theory, but very famous one nonetheless. And yeah, I believe that that was a reference to that. Maybe it wasn't because there was obviously a big plot element with dreams, but I think that that was they definitely knew. Scott definitely knew. He was like, okay, yeah, that would be perfect because that gets a reference and it makes sense within our plot. So, so yeah, that was the first sort of reference that I noticed, and then the other reference obviously was the ice cream shop had little or what is it, Chica's Rainbow. Everybody saw that in the trailer, so that's not really big news, but that was still cool. It wasn't actually part of Freddy Fazbear's, so that was a little bit weird. But I guess it makes sense because FNAF World's supposed to be a separate thing. So that that's understandable. The other reference, there were a lot of references, man. I don't remember. I don't know if I can recount them all. But Balloon Boy, let me just get this out of the way because I actually said this on a community post and it did not end up coming true. Balloon Boy and the puppet are not in the movie. Um, Balloon Boy is technically. He is not an actual animatronic. Instead, he is a little figurine. But the funny thing is, the figurine has like 3 jump scares in the movie. All right, it pops up out of nowhere. It's alive because in the post credit scene, Corey X Kenshin, who we saw in the trailer, he is the cab driver, and and the door opens and it's literally the freaking Balloon Boy doll, and it scares him, and that was hilarious because yeah, man. I mean, I don't really see much people talk about this, but FNAF was always maybe not from day one. Well, I mean there were things even from the early days, but FNAF has really blended comedy into the entire story. There has been a lot of comedic stuff. So this was perfectly within FNAF. Like this was not egregious, not anything like that. So I really liked that. I really liked the comedic Balloon Boy thing. So that was cool. It wouldn't really make much sense for Balloon Boy to be in the movie, right? Like the actual Balloon Boy. So that's what would make sense. Um, and then of course the other reference that I was shocked about was Sparky the dog. I actually, believe it or not, questioned before the movie, is Sparky the dog going to be in this? I did. I actually thought to myself, is Sparky the dog going to be in this movie? And it was. Like, how insane is that? How insane is that? And I mean, the creator of Sparky the dog, like man, you gotta just be, I don't know who that was. I don't know where he is right now, but like, he's gotta just be like, man, my random like hoax edit from 2014 is now in a Hollywood movie. That is amazing. There are actually kind of 2 references because the diner was named the diner that the aunt went to plot like her revenge against Mike to get him fired basically, was also named Sparky's. And I thought that that was going to be the reference. I thought that, okay, well, that's how they're going to sneak that in there. But no, they actually built the animatronic. I was like, what? Anyways, that was insane. The other thing that was insane was the cameos. Matt Pat. made an appearance. And I can tell you, I did not know that that was going to be a thing that was like kept hidden. And when when he popped on the screen, I laughed, and so did someone else in the theater. So I'm glad I wasn't. I'm glad I wasn't the only one who knew who that guy was. So, yeah, that was hilarious. That was really good. I'm really glad that when they get like they get those cameos in there, because it's not too, it's not too distracting. It's quick, it's funny, and it's fine. He was the diner waiter, and yeah, I mean that's perfect. He got his line in there. That's just a theory. So that was completely fine. No Markiplier, unfortunately. I kept hearing that Markiplier was actually supposed to be in the movie, but he had scheduling conflicts because he's actually making a movie based on a horror game. Excuse me. Based on Iron Lung, and that looks really cool. So he had that, and that conflicted with his schedule, so he was not able to actually appear in it, but he'll be in the second one. Like there is no way he is not going to be in the second movie. So we can all look forward to that. And I really am looking forward to a sequel, because this movie really made me want to see more. Because I think the director did a great job, and I want to see more. I want to see if they can really enhance this universe through another movie. Um, yeah, and then another reference that I caught immediately was there is a spring lock suit. They explained the spring locks beforehand, which was obviously what they should have done. They should have explained the spring locks, and they did. The spring lock suit is Ella from the books. I don't know why it's Ella from the books. That is very random to me. The only thing I can think of is maybe Abby is obviously a little girl, so they were like, well, let's choose an animatronic that is a little girl, so it would make sense. That's probably why. There's probably not like a real big lore significance there. I don't think so. Some people were saying it's the puppet, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's not the puppet. I mean, that looks nothing like the puppet. Why would they make the puppet look exactly like another character? So yeah, that's not the puppet. Um, it is Ella. So weird choice, but I mean, I understand if that was the reason, then I completely understand it. Um, so yeah, that was when they explained the spring locks, and that was cool. I hope that other people caught that it was Ella, because again, some people were confused that it was the puppet for some reason. Um, no, obviously not. All right. Well, I think we should talk about what I actually did not like. What I think could have been done better, because like I said, I liked the movie. I had a very good time watching it, and I was just proud of the whole thing. Um, but what I did not like. All right. So, first thing, I do not think that there was enough of Afton. I really do not think that there was enough. There was only one scene in the beginning where he was talking to Mike about the job. That's fine. But like, that was it. That was it. And then of course, the Spring Bonnie, the reveal that he is the killer. Now I know what you might say. Well, we already know that he's the killer. Everybody knows that. The fans know that he is supposed to be Afton. It's a given. I understand that. But would it really have hurt if we got like one more scene or something of him being creepy, him talking to somebody, just to kind of flesh out his character a little bit more? Because the only thing we saw of him was him explaining the job. He was acting suspicious, but like, I think there could have been just something else to really give him a little bit more spotlight because yeah, I feel like there should have been more. Um, and when he was Spring Bonnie and he was getting spring locked, that was weird. That was a very weird scene in my opinion because the whole reason why he got spring locked and the animatronics turned on him was because Abby drew a picture of you know, the yellow rabbit, Spring Bonnie. They call him the yellow rabbit, but Spring Bonnie stabbing kids, and she pinned that to the wall, and then all of a sudden the animatronics, oh, he's a bad guy. So that was a little bit weird because like it happened in an instant. So do pictures control the animatronics, or was it because Abby was telling them? Because so if she did like if she drew a picture of the animatronics like I don't know doing the Macarena, would they just start doing it? It's like that's a little bit weird to me, and it happened in an instant, an instant. Um, so I would have maybe liked to see a little bit more of like throughout the thing, like trying to tell, making an attempt to tell the animatronics what that guy really did, because the animatronics were being controlled by Afton. They were. I don't know how. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but yeah, they were being controlled by Afton. So I think a little more attempt to kind of tell the animatronics, hey, this guy is not who you think he is, would have been nice. It would have been nice because the spirits, their whole goal was to try to get Abby, like I said earlier. So there could have been a little bit more, I feel like. So that was that. And when he said, I always come back right after he put the mask, I'm not gonna lie, it felt a little bit forced, unfortunately. I think I would have had that line be at a different time. So yeah, I don't want to be too harsh, but that sounds nitpicky, I know, but like I felt like that line didn't land as hard as it should have, sadly. Um, the other character who I think got, the real short end of the stick, even more than Spring Bonnie, was Golden Freddy. Like, I wanted to see much more of Golden Freddy. He was only at that scene where he picked up Abby, and like, that was it. Like, that was a cool scene. I liked it, but like, that cannot be it. Like, how was he not present in the Springlock scene? He should have been present in the Springlock scene, even if it was just like he was just walking slowly towards him and then he, stared at him or something like that. Like, that would have been awesome. That would have been so badass. But like, nah, we did not see enough of Golden Freddy. We did not see enough of Golden Freddy. We saw plenty of the child possessing Golden Freddy. He was the ringmaster of everything, which was obviously how it should have been, because again, Golden Freddy is like the most obsessed animatronic. He is the most threatening animatronic. In my opinion, he's the most scary animatronic. But that's neither here nor there. And yeah, I was just disappointed. I thought that we would see much more of him. Much more of him. Um so yeah. And also, could you really have not? I don't know if this was their intention. I don't know if they wanted to make people question, well, is this Freddy or is this not? But you could have made him a little bit more golden. I mean, he's like almost the exact, he's like brown. Like, make him more gold, okay? Just make him more gold. I don't know if their intention was, again, to like be, is this Freddy, is this not? But like, you got to make him more gold. He did not look gold, because I remember a lot of people questioning why Freddy did not have an ear, you know? So, yeah, that was it. And I bet a lot of people were actually kind of confused with that. So, I would have made him more gold. I would have made him like, why not, you know? Um but yeah, I mean, he looked fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He looked unbelievable, but like, make him more gold. Nothing wrong with making him more gold. Um, So yeah, I thought that those two characters deserved a little bit more time. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that is just me, but I felt that definitely. Now the other thing that I was really thinking about was Freddy. Obviously, Freddy is the main character, obviously. He is the face of this franchise, and in the first game, he is, built up as this big threat because he's way different. He hides in the shadows, he attacks much faster, he only starts attacking at night 3. So Freddy is immediately introduced as different, as really smart, as very dangerous. I did not get that in this movie. Um, it pains me to say, but like I think Freddy didn't really feel that special. Freddy did not really feel different from the other animatronics, and I think there should have been something to set Freddy aside as a really big player, like a very big player. So yeah, he only got I think one kill, and he had a kill that made me say, "Holy shit!" Like he bit somebody in half. Um, that was completely unexpected. I did not expect that in this movie, but that was pretty insane. Um, and I guess his spirit did talk once, but that wasn't really anything. It was just him going like, "Come here, follow me." So, so yeah, Freddy did not really appear to me, at least, like anything special when compared to the other animatronics. And I feel like they should have done something to do that. Now, what could they have done? They could have maybe had Freddy have like a special kill scene because he only had that kill scene, but they never really had a kill scene of him like in the dark and in the, lurking about. I think that would have been kind of cool. Just something, or even people talking like, oh well, Freddy was always the most, agitated. He was always aggressive. He was, you know, known for being very rough, you know, something like that. So maybe some of you guys will disagree, but I felt that in the movie, and I'm just gonna tell you what I felt. I'm just telling you what I felt, what I thought about everything. So yeah, that was how I felt about Freddy. Um, yeah, just something to make him a little bit more different. Um, Now when it came to the kills, the cupcake actually got like a lot, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. I don't really see that as a massive problem. But yeah, the cupcake was brutal in the movie. I mean, vicious. So, is the cupcake possessed by a spirit? Is the cupcake possessed by a spirit? That's probably yes. It is. It has to be. I don't know if it's possessed by the same spirit or not as Chica, but whatever. Um, and the kills were pretty good. And in the sense that if you go to a horror movie like this, a lot of people are going to be like rating the kills, like they want to do the kill count and all that. The kills were pretty good. Obviously Freddy biting somebody in half was probably the most noteworthy one, but it wasn't too gory. Yeah, it really wasn't gory besides that, which I do like. I don't think that excessive gore is really scary. It's just kind of uncomfortable. Sometimes it can just be gratuitous and stupid, in my opinion, but yeah, there was not really that much gore, which is not a problem for me. I like how Foxy ran down the hallway. That was awesome. Like for example, in the opening shot where the security guard was trying to escape, Foxy ends up taking him and putting him in the suit mechanism, saw trap, whatever. I would have had, honestly, I think I would have had a whole scene of Freddy stalking this guy as the opening. I think I would have had that rather than Foxy. because you already did Foxy, or excuse me, you did Foxy running down the hallway twice. So you could have done Foxy running down the hallway once at the end, and then the opening scene be Freddy stalking this guy. That's what I would have done. Um, but hey, maybe there's a reason why I'm not behind the director's chair. But um, yeah. But that was my little tangent right there. But yeah, the first scene was that was really well done. Even though I would have done it differently, it was really well done because it was scary. Like you felt it, you felt it. You know, it wasn't this. They immediately started off with like, this is not a happy-go-lucky place. Like this place is dark. This place is horrifying. This is stressful. This is tight. The place is tight, and yeah, amazing, amazing stuff at the beginning scene. Um, and I love the opening, by the way. They had an 8-bit opening. Perfect. Perfect for this movie, obviously. And they also got the Living Tombstone song. That was really cool. Really cool. I damn, I was like I was ready to cry when I heard that because like that was obviously that's the most well-known FNAF song. That's very important to FNAF history in my opinion. Um I don't even know if that's an opinion. I think that's a fact. But like this song, to see that song make its way into this movie was just, it put a smile to my face because the Living Tombstone has so much to be proud of. They're very good. They're great at what they do. And they created an iconic piece that is like almost like synonymous with the game as a whole, pretty much. Like when you think about Five Nights at Freddy's, I guarantee you do think about the song. You do think about the song. So they were able to get that in there. Obviously, perfect. It would have felt weird without it, honestly. Um, so yeah, that was the FNAF movie. Um, I liked it. I had a lot of fun. There's a lot I liked about it. I felt that um at times, I guess in the first sort of before Abby got captured by Golden Freddy, I could see maybe some complaints, maybe here and there, but really especially liked the film after Abby got caught because that was where it got intense. That was where the actors had the exchange in the police compost, I believe it was. And that was a really good scene. I mean, those two did a great job at coming across as frightened, paranoid, unsure, aggressive with Mike. I thought they did a great job in that scene, so I really liked that. I think they did a great job of letting you know, of giving you a sense that Vanessa is not really who she says she is. Something's very weird with her, and then of course something was. So they did deliver there. They did deliver there. So that was really good. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have besides those complaints, I don't really have much to complain about. People seem to like it. I know critics aren't really liking it if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, but honestly, I don't know. It doesn't really affect me because the audience score is through the roof. It's like at a 90, I think. It's making a lot of money, which is awesome. And yeah, there's just not much bad really to say. There's not much bad to say. Um, all I can tell you is I had a lot of fun watching it, and I am just glad that this was made finally. Um, and it didn't have. I know maybe some people would say it wasn't long. It was too short. Yeah, I could see where that comes from. Like I said, with the extra scenes, maybe it could have been a little bit longer, but I feel like it didn't need to be like 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't think it needed to be that long. I don't think it needed to add a bunch of unimportant scenes. I think it got right to where it needed to be. I think it moved pretty well. Yeah, it only had really two settings, so Again, it didn't need any extra fluff, really. It moved nicely. It didn't show the animatronics immediately. It had a awesome sequence there with the people breaking in, and then the animatronics just killing them one by one. That was insane. I was like, I am seeing the animatronics kill people on a movie theater screen. That is weird. So, hey guys, that was the FNAF movie. I cannot wait for a sequel. I've heard that it is already in post-production or pre-production. And God, I'm excited. I'm very excited. There's so much to do. There is so much to do. I'm interested to see where they take it, because are they going to do like a FNAF 2 movie? Are they going to do a FNAF 3 movie? Are they going to jump over to something like Sister Location? I mean, is it really without the realm of possibility? I mean, the Funtime animatronics would be way harder to translate in real life, but I'm sure they could do it. But yeah, what are they going to do for the sequel? Because I want to see the puppet in the sequel. So I guess I kind of want I'm thinking they do a mixture of FNAF 2 and FNAF 3. That's what I'm thinking, because I want to see the puppet and I want to see Springtrap. That's who I want to see. So yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the sequel. Hopefully it doesn't take like 5 years for the sequel. Hope not, because this movie really made me wanting to see more of this universe. Even though I've already seen years worth of the universe, I want to see more of it on the big screen, because everybody involved in this should be proud. Everybody involved in this should be proud. Again, the animatronics and the restaurant looked flawless, and everybody should be just giving themselves a pat on the back pat on the back for making this a reality. You know, this is possible. It is possible, you know, mainly because of the fans, yeah, but it wouldn't be possible to have this high quality of a film without the production, the crew, everything. So everybody should just be immensely proud. Scott should be I can't even imagine what it feels like to be Scott right now. I mean, he must be just through the moon with excitement. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud for him. I'm so happy for him and his family. This is what they deserve. All right, Scott is just such a good guy. He's been, he's just such a great game developer. Not only because of his, ability to make games, but what he does with story. I think little details and all that, and obviously the care he has for his community is just unlike anything I've ever seen with game developer. Just phenomenal work. Everything was just super impressive, and I'm so happy that we finally were able to get it. And also, before I sign off here, I don't know if anybody's still watching this, but if you are, thank you so much. But mark my words, I will be in the FNAF sequel. Okay, you will see me in the FNAF sequel. You will look at my face in the FNAF sequel. You won't know it's me. Maybe you will. But I will be in it. I don't care if I am, an important character, like a voice actor. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to mention, actually. I forgot. I thought that the animatronics were going to have voices. They didn't. So I was like, really? Like, they did not have voices. That's another thing. That Foxy had a little bit, but like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, they never talked. I thought that they were going to talk. So it's not like I wanted them to be having like conversations all the time, but a little bit of talking I thought was going to be implemented. But okay, well, you can't have everything, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But I just thought that they were going to actually talk. That's all, because of the voice actor castings. But I guess that was just the people inside the costume. So they did a great job. So They didn't really need to talk. It was just a kind of fan thing, I guess. But yeah, you will see me in the FNAF sequel. I could be, I could be a voice of an animatronic or pizza eater number 5, I could be anything. So, and you will not know it's me unless I tell you, which I probably will. But yeah, look for me in the FNAF sequel. That is going to be my Hollywood debut, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to steal the show. I might be at the Oscar ceremony. It depends on, scheduling, because by then I'd probably have like 10 movie deals lined up. I could be a homeless guy. I've been a homeless guy in a play before. I was a homeless guy in a play, so I already have experience being a homeless guy if they need it. I was a drunk guy in a play before. So if they need a drunk guy, I got your back. If you want me to, curse out Freddy Fazbear and then get eaten, sign me up. Like I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want. Like, Blumhouse, you're definitely watching this. So if you're hearing this right now, already put me down on paper. All right? You don't even have to pay me. I said it. I said it. Now they have to. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it. I've been going at it for almost an hour. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.